Bo-Katan was a Mandalorian who was the leader of the Night Owls and a lieutenant in the Death Watch. She was also the sister of Duchess Satine Kryze. Today, we're going to go into detail of who this Mandalorian was and how she came from fighting against Mandalore to liberating it. So sit back, relax, and have a bowl of noodles. Welcome to Star Wars Timelines. Bo-Katan was born into House Kryze, and like I mentioned, she was the sister of Satine Kryze. They also had an unnamed sibling who had a son named Corky Kryze, a nephew with whom Satine was very close with. Satine eventually became Duchess of Mandalore and led the pacifistic New Mandalorians. However, Bo-Katan disagreed with the New Mandalorian beliefs, believing that the Mandalorians should return to their warrior ways like they had done in the days of the Old Republic. Since the Jedi Republic defeated them in the Old Wars, the Mandalorians had turned to pacifism for survival. However, a group of Mandalorians decided to revolt against the New Mandalorians and turn back to their old ways. Bo-Katan joined the terrorist group known as the Death Watch in 21 BBY and served under Pre Vizsla, serving as his lieutenant and leading the Night Owls. However, Death Watch was exiled from the Mandalorian system, so Bo-Katan and the Death Watch established a temporary base on Karlak, a snowy planet in the Outer Rim territories. About 1 year later, Death Watch was contacted by Lux Bonteri, who claimed that his mother, Senator Mina Bonteri, had been betrayed and killed by Count Dooku, leader of the Separatists. Having no love towards Dooku after he betrayed them as well, the Death Watch agreed to form an alliance with Lux to take revenge on the Sith Lord. Kryze led a squad of Death Watch soldiers to meet him. Noticing that Bonteri had been accompanied by a Togruta girl, Kryze asked who she was. The Togruta, secretly Jedi Padawan Ahsoka Tano, claimed to be Bonteri's betrothed. At the camp, Bo-Katan showed Bonteri and Ahsoka to Vizsla's tent. When Vizsla entered, he requested that Ahsoka would leave. So Bo brought the Togruta to a tent for the Ming-Po women, who had been taken from a nearby village. Later, during a feast, Chieftain Peter of the Ming-Po town arrived, demanding that the women of his village be released. Vizsla agreed to return them in the morning, and the chieftain left. However, when the morning came, Vizsla killed Peter's granddaughter, Tryla, and the Death Watch destroyed the village. Ahsoka attempted to stop them, revealing herself to be a Jedi, but the Death Watch apprehended her and dragged her back to camp. However, Lux realized that he'd made a mistake in trusting the group and aided Ahsoka in escaping the planet. The Death Watch abandoned Karlak and made for Zanbar, and another year later, in 19 BBY, the Death Watch located an escape pod drifting through space. Upon entering the pod, the Mandalorians found two unconscious beings, Darth Maul and Savage Opress, Sith Lords and brothers. They brought them back to Zanbar and decided to form an alliance with the Sith, planning on taking revenge against both Mandalore and Obi-Wan Kenobi. Together, they formed a criminal army known as the Shadow Collective, enlisting the aid of the Black Sun, the Hutts, and the Pikes. Together, they prepared to overthrow the new Mandalorians. The plan was for Maul's Shadow Collective to strike targets in Sundari, Mandalore's capital, in order to make Satine look weak. Bo-Katan then left to prepare her Night Owls, and the Shadow Collective embarked for Mandalore. On Mandalore, the Syndicate criminals attacked specific locations, throwing Sundari's population into turmoil. When Satine began a speech from the Sundari Royal Palace, Vizsla and Bo arrived. Vizsla claimed that he was not responsible for the attacks, but that Death Watch would be able to save the city by fighting these thugs. Satine warned everyone not to listen to Vizsla, but her efforts failed and the Sundari citizens chanted their support for Vizsla and the rest of Death Watch. When Vizsla made his speech, he and Bo-Katan returned to their ships to prepare to repel the thugs. Now that they had the support of Mandalore, the Death Watch began the next step of Maul's plan. They apprehended the group of Pikes and Black Sun thugs throughout Sundari. Bo led her Night Owls to capture a group of criminals led by a Black Sun member named Modge. The witnesses of the Night Owls' actions thanked the warriors, hailing Bo's forces as saviours. Bo-Katan then gave a speech to the people of Sundari, introducing Vizsla as the new Prime Minister of Mandalore and crediting him for the captured criminals. The crowd responded to the presentation with great enthusiasm. meaning that Death Watch now had full control of Mandalore with the support of the people. The Death Watch then regrouped at Maul's palace, where the group betrayed Maul and threw him in prison with his brother Savage Opress. However, soon after Maul's imprisonment, he and Opress broke out pretty easily. They also freed the corrupt former Prime Minister, Almec, who had been arrested for his corruption. Maul demanded to duel Vizsla for control of Mandalore, and per Mandalorian tradition, Vizsla had to accept. Without interfering, Bo-Katan was forced to watch the two fight, and although Vizsla was very good, the Sith Lord ultimately bested him. This was followed by Maul decapitating the former Mandalorian leader. A quick reminder guys, if possible please don't forget to like and subscribe. It really means a lot to me and helps me continue to make content like this. If you also have any ideas for lore videos, or theories, or reviews, or any upcoming comics that you might like me to have a look at, please comment them in the comments down below. I'm always open to any suggestions. Again, they can literally be as wild as you want. Like, I'll literally do a lore video on what happened to Jar Jar Binks after Revenge of the Sith. He became a bit of a clown. I mean, he was a clown before, but now he's more of a clown. I'll save that for the video. Comment down below if you want me to do that or something. Anyways, on to the video. However, Bo-Katan refused to accept Maul's leadership and escaped with the Night Owls. Maul placed Almec as the new puppet Prime Minister of Mandalore. While Maul would rule in the shadows, he would speak out front. Bo-Katan then joined forces with her nephew, Corky Kryze, and attempted to rescue Satine from prison, believing that the enemy of her enemy was now her friend. However, Maul recaptured Satine, and Bo-Katan once again went into hiding with the rest of the Night Owls. Satine managed to get a message to Obi-Wan, however, who arrived at Mandalore to try and rescue her. However, this attempt also failed, and Darth Maul executed Satine in front of Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan was then escorted to prison, however Bo-Katan intercepted him and helped him escape Mandalore to warn the Republic of what had happened. Less than a few months later, Bo's wish for a Republic invasion was fulfilled. The 501st Legion of the Grand Army of the Republic, led by Ahsoka Tano and Captain Rex, laid siege to Maul's forces, driving the Sith Lord from the planet. Bo was named Regent of Mandalore by the Jedi before they left. However, it was at this time that the Republic was reorganized into the Galactic Empire, and the Imperial occupation caused another wave of violence throughout Mandalore. When Bo-Katan refused to do the Empire's bidding, she was betrayed by Clan Saxon and forced out of power. Clan Saxon then pledged loyalty to the new Empire and became Mandalore's Imperial Viceroy and Governor. Nearly 2 decades later, in 2 BBY, Clan Wren chose to resist the Empire, and the Imperial loyalists of Clan Saxon fought them. Countess Ursa Wren killed Saxon, and Mandalore entered another civil war. Around 1 BBY, Bo-Katan encountered Countess Ursa and her daughter, Sabine Wren, who was seeking a Mandalorian worthy of wielding the Darksaber and claim the title of Mandalore. Together, the two clans led an assault on the Mandalorian capital to try and liberate Mandalore from the Empire. They attacked the Star Destroyer, which housed the prime weapon that the Empire was using against the Mandalorians. Together they were able to destroy the secret weapon, which crippled the Empire's effort on Mandalore, effectively securing a Mandalorian victory. Upon returning to her camp, Sabine told Kryze that she had proven herself as a leader. The Wrens were joined by representatives of other clans, including Vizsla, Rook, Elder, Kryze, and Fen Rao, the last surviving Mandalorian protector. With Wren's approval, Kryze took the mantle of the Darksaber, rallying the support of Clan Wren's forces and her own Night Owls. However, at some point after this, a great purge took place, and it was during this time that the Mandalorian Beskar was gathered and was cast into Imperial smelters as spoils of the purge, while most of the Mandalorians were killed. This event led to the Mandalorian group known as the Tribe operating in secrecy after the fall of the Empire in 5 ABY. What happened to Bo-Katan and the Night Owls remains unknown. That is all we have time for today. Thank you for watching this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and comment what video you'd like me to do next. Again, thank you for watching and may the Force be with you.